morning, everybody. Michelle is here. Man, did I have a good night's rest. And that's been happening for the last couple of days. I think it's because, it doesn't matter about the temperature that you have in your space where you sleep. The air is flowing properly, and I have plenty of air filters in here to help to keep the air flowing as best, again, these are old buildings, and it has old energy in it. All of our material stuff has old energy in it. It's like a fluid energy, and every material object in your existence has an energy to it. That's why I say a lot of people do not understand energy, especially the people that we expect to understand energy, like the so-called self-proclaimed experts. They have no idea what they're talking about, unfortunately, and then they're going to be falling on their face like dominoes because they just don't understand, our existence and why we are, who we are, what we are, and why we are. It's all energy. Everything's energy, But anyway, I keep the air flowing to where I can take in a deep breath, and for the most part, I'm breathing in proper amount of nutrients in the air, with these filters and blah blah blah. Of course, when I go outside, that's a different matter. I do avoid going outside during certain times of the day, especially if it's windy, because all that dust and so forth and so on. So you really have to just consider things and look at things from a different perspective, and work on understanding. That's all. Just work on understanding. But I really wanted to come on here and talk about certain displays of courageousness that I witnessed. See, I know a lot of things are going on, being presented to us, with the interference, especially from mainstream media. Mainstream media, their whole intentions is to interfere with our perception of what's really, really going on. Via these so-called algorithms that they have realized that they fucked themselves. Okay, and I'm going to say that and be very blunt about it. A lot of people are realizing that they fucked themselves. They screwed up a whole, they just screwed up the proper way of conducting themselves. Okay, and so everything is starting to show its head, in my opinion. That's why I say a lot of people are going to be collapsing, and that's where separating the wheat from the chaff. Because people are operating under these negative energy, these forces of negative energy, and then it can only combust for so long until it does collapse. Either whether it's positive or negative. You cannot be extreme either way. You have to establish being neutral, okay, about everything. And so as we know, we came off of a extremely exhaustive, the words can't describe what we've come off of with this recent election. I think it had allowed people to really, really, really ground themselves and realize that they have been fools. They have been fools to not understand that politics is a game. Okay, and I said, if you don't know how to play the game, you're going to get fucked every time. And that's true. Okay, just like a sporting event. Okay, the same kind of, the same concepts apply. We spend all of our time, efforts, especially our financial responsibilities on sporting events. Okay, which includes politics. Okay, let's just make that clear and effective. And so you have to know how to play the game. You have to know how to play the game or get out of it, or release yourself from it. Do not participate, right? Just like the lottery. We've all played the lottery, even if people will not admit it. It's a lottery of life. A lot of us have played those kind of games. We've gambled with our lives. And what usually happens is, You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. In most cases, because of the structure of how things are set up, you're going to lose. You're going to lose every time when you put, as they say, put all your eggs in one basket. So I just do not pay too much attention to what's happening, but I do pick up moments. I do pick up moments when things are happening, and I kind of pay attention to see how people handle certain moments of time, because that's what is going to be remembered. People are going to remember moments in time. They're not going to be able to know what led up to this or what led up to that. They remember a moment in time. And unfortunately, you have to be, if you are a genuine, authentic person, you'll be able to rise to those occasions. Whether it's a positive or negative situation, whether it's an uncomfortable or comfortable situation. As a genuine human being, you're gonna know how to behave yourself. You're gonna know how to conduct yourself. You're gonna know how to discipline yourself when you are in certain companies of people. Okay, I've said this so many times that and if you are a upright citizen and you care about humanity, you're going to care about how people are treated, whether you like them or not. Okay, whether you hate them or love them, it's going to matter how you treat people. Okay, and how you greet people. Okay, and allow people to just give people some grace. It's not like if you're in enemy territory, in most cases you don't spend a lot of time around people that you hate, do you? Well, and I'm going to say something about that in a minute. But in most cases, most people believe they're in a proper company of people. They're in the proper company of people that care about them. Okay, and that's anything but true, and it reveals itself every time. So when people decide to get in that hierarchical structure, they think they're clever, they think they're sophisticated, they think they can outsmart, this game. It's a game. Okay, what does it mean that it's a game? What is a game? All right, let's look it up. Game. Well, of course, it's been commercialized. It says here, an activity of providing entertainment or amusement. Hello. And then it also says here, a competitive activity or sports in which players contend with each other according to a set of rules. Well, no. But entertainment, here, look at, it's fun, it's entertaining. Politics is entertainment. Politics is entertainment. Okay? But there's a way to play the game of politics to get your needs met, to get your the citizens that you serve to get their needs met. Okay? And sometimes you have to be creative and be spontaneous and but at the end of the day, after everyone plays these games, you're supposed to do what? Okay, when these games are over, how do you greet your components? Okay, those are moments and opportunities. Okay, and especially if you are in the face of the world. Okay, because the world is paying attention. Your children are paying attention. If you are in a stage where you have an opportunity to show someone some grace, to be kind, to be gentle, to be friendly, but then you choose not to, that sounds like a sore loser to me. What's a sore loser? And so sometimes, what's this say here? Sore loser laws. What is that? I've never seen that before. Okay, what does it say here? In the United States, a sore loser is a law prohibiting the loser in a primary election from running as independent or representing another party. Nah, that's something else. You see how stuff just pops up, and you know, they are considered the voices of who you are, what you are, and why you are. We allow people just to put stuff in books that, you know, because nobody's reading anything. I've said that hundreds of times. It's obvious people are not reading things. And as an individual, though, however, I have to make sure I'm conducting myself properly and making sure I'm getting my needs and the people I love, you know, making sure we're taken care of. You know, I can't, you know, I don't have the time or the energy to be participating in a sport. It's my point. To always be participating in entertainment. I don't have the time for that. And neither do most people. Okay, and we definitely don't have the money for it, but a lot of people still gamble away with that. Believing, you know, that, okay, my team is going to win, and they always want their team to win at any cost. And in most cases, it's cheating. You know, it's being done fraudulently. You know, that's why we have the pyramid schemes. That's why we have the Ponzi schemes. That's why we have politics as it is and structured today. That's why we have all these other entities. You know, it's a game. Okay, it's not about protecting and serving people. It's not about your you know, it's not. Let me find that word. I want to stress it. You know, constituents. Yes, you want to represent your constituents. Let me see if that's the word.
Constitute.
Nope, that's not it. Constitute, nope. You want to represent the people that you're representing. That's my point. You know, you want to you know, you're okay. If you are supposed to be representing people, you know, you're the representative. Let's use that word. Okay. You know, it's all, everything's either, you know, it's been changed. It doesn't represent the meaning. One that serves as an example. That says it right there. If you're going to be a representative of people, so you claim you are, so you claim you want to be, you know, it requires a certain amount of modeling proper behaviors and actions. You know, if you're going to call yourself a parent, you need to model yourself as a parent properly. It's best you understand it. If you're going to model yourself as a politician, you need to model yourself accordingly, regardless of the circumstances, whether you win or lose. You're supposed to have some type of, you know, you don't want to be a sore loser. You know, you don't want to be raging and you know, being a sore loser, and not to mention, you know, hateful, immature, and so many other things that come along with, you know, with the game. It's a game, and the people playing the game of politics, they know it's a game. They know sometimes you gotta. They know that it's a part of being manipulative and deceptive. They know that. They know it's a part of smoke and mirrors. They know that, especially in the presence of the media. They work together. They're in bed together. All of the politicians are in bed together. Okay? And that's a figurative metaphor. And some literally. Okay? Some literally. Some people who are on opposing sides are married together, in a partnership together. Okay, but then they know that they have to play a game when they're in front of the media, because that's what they signed up for. They know it's a game. I know a lot of fresh faces go into politics and they think, oh, I'm going to go in there and blah, blah, blah. They go on and on and on about what they're going to do and how they're going to be looking out for the what they say that term, looking out for the small guy, looking out for the community. And once they get in there, pull back the veil, they realize, okay, props. I'm sure a lot of people are discovering that now, people that don't know nothing about politics, and they running through there, thinking they're going to, they're looking to make things efficient, and then they're going to go in there and realize, okay, that's why I said you're going to have to think very clearly and effective when you claim you're going to go into a place and make it efficiency. Acting and producing effectively with the minimum of waste, expense, unnecessary effort. I'm sure a lot of people are getting a rude awakening. They don't know the game of politics. They're going in there thinking they're going to restructure and change things, and they're going to realize smoke and mirrors. They're fools. A lot of people are going to be made a fool of. And sometimes it takes a fool to learn. As I said, it takes a fool to learn. You're running into, a burning building, literally, figuratively, and metaphorically. In other words, nothing's there. And then you believe, it's a lot of beliefs, a lot of delusion and hallucination with people who think that they can force change on people without understanding the game. It's a game. Okay, it's a game where people get paid very well. Some people, and so that's why a lot of people hate to lose in this game of politics, because they always want to win, because they know what it brings them, and what it takes away from others. That's what winning and losing are. If you always want to win, that means you're taking away from other people. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people are frustrated, the ones who claim that they're going to go in there and make changes in politics. It is a game. Okay, unless you play the game, which means being a sophisticated liar, being deceptive and manipulative, okay. And every now and then you'll have someone that comes in there and presents themselves as genuinely caring. But, they can be just as manipulated as the rest of us, Politics, in my point, politics is not the answer. When your house burns down, what do you want? You want a politician coming in there and and doing what? Or do you want carpenters, architects? Or do you want professionals to come in and build your house? Or do you want the politicians to build your house? Okay? So we're going to have to change our structure of thinking. We're going to have to change our thinking modes if you choose to. Hey, if you like these games, then you keep playing them. Okay? Because unfortunately, because of our complacency, I've said this, and I'm going to keep saying it, because of our complacencies and not taking care of business, what happens to people that gamble everything? They lose everything. And that's what we're doing with this planet. We're losing everything. Okay? So, as I said, it was a game. And I always pay attention to certain moments that people have. To make things right. Not necessarily make things right, but to neutralize things. To put out the flames. Okay, and making this more than it is. A lot of people have gotten themselves so extremely, it is an extreme sickness of self-absorption. They are so self-absorbed with themselves that they can't, no one else exists. They're so caught up in their self-important, how self-important they are, how beautiful they are. That criminal, feminine and masculine energy. Self-absorbed. What it says here, I'm just pulling it up off of the AI generated dictionaries, because all of our dictionaries are AI generated now. Self-absorbed means being overly focused on one's own thoughts, feelings, and interests, often to the exclusion of others. This behavior can lead to a lack of empathy and awareness of other people's needs and experiences. I mean, it says it all to me. So I was paying attention to a lot of moments, that are on display for us and that's why I know people are waking up and snapping out of it, because they realize as well, oh my gosh, this is a game. And sometimes it takes a minute for people to snap out of it. And that's all I am attempting to do. That's what a lot of other people are attempting to do, to snap you out of your delusions and hallucination and illusionary thinking. Okay? We relied on other people, third parties, to interpret stuff for us instead of figuring it out on our own, attempting to understand it as best we can on our own. It always comes back to you. It always comes back to me. At the end of the day, when I lay my head down to rest, I have to question myself about, okay, what have I done to evolve my consciousness? How have I treated people? Have I missed moments? Okay, because sometimes moments you cannot. Sometimes when the damage is done, damage is done. And it's especially when it's how you treat people. I've put out many videos. I got many videos on how I had to develop myself properly, and how I had to heal my wounds, whether they were literally, figuratively, and metaphorically. And I've done the work, and I'm so thankful. I have now permanent peace, love, freedom, harmony, abundance, intimacy, wisdom, and truth within me. It's permanent. No one can touch it. No one can touch it. Yes, you can do anything in your power to affect me, harm me. I know who I am, what I am, why I am. I know that this material body is not all that I am. These are moments in time to make things right, to be given opportunities to make things right. And a lot of you, claim that's what you're doing, and that's what you want. No, and then hey, I can get easily, what's the word? I can be easily manipulated and deceived and made a fool of, just like the rest of us. But hey, comes with the territory as well. Because I know who I am, what I am, why I am, and I know what we're dealing with. I know the criminal negative energy that we're dealing with, and sometimes that's hard to deal with. It's exhaustive. It can be dangerous too. It can be deadly, because you stop lacking your needs when you start trying to take on criminal negative energy. You'll start lacking and taking care of your needs. Okay, I refuse to do that for anyone. Okay, I refuse. So I say all of this as I want to send out nothing but love to particular people who have behaved properly in the face of adversity, in the face of criticism, in the face of just pure pure hatred. You still were able to stand there and allow it to just bounce off of you. People calling for you to be fired, people calling you names, harsh language, cruel language. But you just stand there because hey, you're fine. Okay, you know how to operate from within, and you know how to take it and move on. So I want to send this out to someone in particular. How you were gracious, you were kind, you were friendly, and you greeted a particular person properly, even though that person may be your enemy, for all you know. Okay, there was an incident that happened, this summer, where there was this group of people, all their emotions all over the goddamn place. Good grief. Their emotions were heightened, that, they were, fit to be tied. You remember that? You remember that term, panties in a wall? What's that term? They were just so angry. And they knew it was all a game. Panties. Oh, God. I can remember they used to say that back in the day. Yeah, so there's so many things that were said, but they were just all just all up, not realizing it was an opportunity. But no, they brought in their emotions, and they were, and I was so disappointed in that. And these were so-called professionals. These were so-called professionals and experts. That's what I'm telling you. A lot of them are going to fall like dominoes. Okay, they had an opportunity, to present themselves, regardless of how your enemy is behaving. Why would you behave even worse? And that's what happened. Okay, you cannot, if you choose to, and if you're saying you want peace, which is a bunch of bullshit, you want ratings. That's what you want. You want people to tune in. And you think you're fighting their battles. All you're trying to do is generate followers, generate likes, so that you can increase your income. Stop it. A lot of people are figuring that out as well. Okay, so yes, even though you're playing a game of politics, there's still a way of conducting yourself. Okay, you still need to be kind. You need to be friendly. You need to be respectful. And you need to greet people properly, regardless of what they say to you. It's all about you at the end of the day. It's about you when you lay your head down on your pillow. Okay? You have to live with what you're doing and how you're acting. And then there was and of course the media was paying a lot of attention. The media will pay a lot of attention to when a politician dies. Okay? And so they were paying a lot of attention to when Jimmy Carter died, because, and it represented so many opportunities it could have met for people. It could have been a moment of humanity, possibly. Who knows? I'm just not really sure if you can bring humanity, but you can do anything you can do anything you can to be walking the talking. Is my point. So if you say you're about peace, okay, you're going to treat people accordingly. Yes, a lot of it is entertaining. Yes, it is. Politics is entertaining. The media knows that. The media looks for entertainment moments, looks for moments for people to be clicking on their sites. And then a lot of us give it to them, and it doesn't serve you to sometimes give these predators, these leeches, this criminal energy so much more fuel to be even more criminal. You can neutralize stuff. You don't have to behave a certain way. So yeah, I paid attention to a lot of I just look at moments of stuff. I don't need to look at the whole programming of anything, because like I told you, what we remember, and a lot of people even say this, people pay attention to how you make them feel. That was a quote by I think they said Maya Angelou. Let me see if it's right. Who knows? It says here, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. So a lot of people pull that quote up. A lot of people are just using people's quote. It doesn't serve anything about their genuine intentions. It's just that's what pissed me off too. that how people are just throwing quotes on their pages as if that's coming from them, as if that represents who they are. Those are Maya Angelou's words. Okay, those words belong to her. She cultivated that. Okay, let's cultivate. And it is a good quote to, to contemplate, cultivate, and see if you can integrate that type of behavior within yourself. So, but it's amazing, when I look at the funerals of a lot of these high profile people, especially politics, I do have a lot of compassion for when certain people in these high profile positions, even if they were considered mass murderers, they're going around murdering other people. But then as soon as they lose their significant others, you sometimes will see a glimpse of their humanity. And I pay attention to that. I paid attention to certain, what they call them, war criminals. There's another word. Just that, it's just criminal negative energy. Let's just stick with that. And I can remember moments on particular funerals I've looked at over the years, and I see how people grieve when they lose their loved ones, and grieve, when they lose their significant others, because chances are, they shared a lot of intimate moments with their significant other that they wouldn't dare share with the public. No way they would share their vulnerability with the public. But it's important to share your vulnerability with someone, though. It's important to share your vulnerability with someone, and that's a part of intimacy. So, and it'll show up, but it all depends on how you handle moments, that represent whether you can kind of bring yourself out of certain criminal, because you can. Anyone can bring themselves out of criminal negative energy, but it requires immense efforts. It does require that. So that's where I witness a lot of those kind of moments showing up with people when they lose a significant other, and they have these public funerals, and people, these so-called leaders are grieving the loss of their significant other. Sometimes I mean, in most cases, I felt that. We're all human beings. It's just how we are conducting and acting as such, to where we're being so we're devolving instead of evolving, a lot of us. But I saw I got a glimpse of what it means when people grieve the loss of a loved one. It's touching. It really is, and that means to me that they might have shared some things with those people that they've lost, and they know that that's it. There's no more. So, again, I want to send nothing but love to certain people. And there was one incident where a certain person showed up, and he was greeted, but he managed to hold himself up and move on, because he knows what's up. He knows the game. He attempted to play it, and he failed, and that's a good thing, by the way. He failed, and that's a good thing. Unfortunately, I think he's doing better, and you'll do better when you take yourself out of the spotlight, per se. Sometimes you have to be in the spotlight, of course, but you're not self-absorbed. That's the point. That usually is what happens to people over time, over the course of time. They become self-absorbed, and they just lose the intention and purpose of who they're serving. They realize they're serving themselves. That's what they realize. They realize that they're serving themselves, and so I pay attention to that. A lot of people were, a lot of people were giving their opinions, theories and opinions about all of that, and what people are saying, what people are talking about. and what people are doing and this and that. But, it's still a moment. You know you're being watched. Okay, cut it out. You know you're being watched. So why wouldn't you rise to those occasions and properly greet people and just sit down and make it all about you? Okay, so value the moments you are given to change the narrative, to lessen the hate and build the love, build universal love. Yes, a lot of us do not agree with a lot of things that we're doing to each other. I mean, the harshness and the cruelty is at an extreme level, and it's going to combust. There's no way to hold it. How can you hold that in? How can you hold it? Because like I said, it's all energy. How can you hold that in? It's going to catch fire, burst into flames. It's going to undergo, it's going to burn to become suddenly angry and agitated. Okay, we're all energy. Okay, combust. Think about it. What causes something to combust? Think about that on the planetary level as well. Not only, especially literally, but not only, but of course, figuratively and metaphorically. What causes combustion? It's energy. Criminal, negative energy. You can have enough of that to strike like lightning, either on a good or on a positive and negative. Okay, so pay attention to that. Pay attention to the moments that you're given. Greet people properly. Be kind and gentle and friendly as best you can. It's not like you're living with that person. And some of you are. Some of you are sleeping with the enemy. And you need to be clear and effective about how you're going to escape that type of combustion, because it will burst into flames, literally, figuratively, and metaphorically, because of that energy. So you need to find a place of safety. I've said that some people are in dangerous situations because they got a team of people around them that's seeking to destroy them, literally, figuratively, and metaphorically. So I just want to come on through and just say that I appreciate certain display of behaviors and actions from certain people that are in the spotlight. You are doing everything you can to be graceful, calm, and you're not taking stuff personally. You treat people with kindness, friendliness, respectfulness, and then you move the hell on. It's not about you. And when you go into politics, it's not about you. It should not have been about you. It's about the American people. That's why I say politics has nothing to do with the American people. Nothing. It's a separate entity on its own, taking care of each other. That's what they do in politics. They take care of each other. The American people, be damned. Okay? So, just breathe. Take these moments to better yourself. That's what a lot of people are saying. And make sure you're using different languages and words, and make sure these words represent what you're attempting to do in your life. For me, it's about the evolution of the consciousness. That's what it's about for me. The evolution, the development, of my consciousness. That's what it's all about for me. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stop right now. I've said enough, but I've been wanting to say this, and I want to say as well, when people keep talking about it's never too late, which I say that's a fallacy. Okay, because when you miss opportunities, you've missed opportunities. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and send peace and love all over the stars and moon and mountains. It's about universal love. And remember, universal love was always inclusive. Trust me, I will be back.